The man who wrote this note has had at least several years of schooling that entailed penmanship. This instruction occurred in the United States no more than 15 years ago.
You sound quite sure, Mr. McLeod.
Dr. Chrysler, as a professional graphologist, it is my business to be sure. There is every indication that this man was trained hard and regularly in a style of penmanship known as the Palmer method. The Palmer method was introduced in the late 70s and was quickly adopted by primary schools all over the country. Thus, if we assume
that our scribe ended his primary education no later than, say, age 15, he could not now be any older than 35.
Or younger than 24.
I do hope that this letter has been written in jest. Or is it, in fact, a training exercise?
Thank you for coming, Mr. McLeod. Please send the invoice for your services to my attention. Detective Sergeants, I believe you have something more to say on the matter.
We have found numerous prints, probably belonging to members of the Santorelli family, or Sara here.
But by employing a method using a silver nitrate solution, we were able to match a print found on this Feig boy's watch
to one taken on the stamp from the envelope.
Along with Mr. McLeod's assessment of his penmanship, I have extracted some words and phrases found in the letters, which could prove crucial. Dirty immigrants, saucy boy, dirt and paint, the 19th of February.
One thing is certain, his spelling leaves much to be desired.
But it could be an attempt to misdirect our suspicions.
If nothing else, his deliberate phrasing implies a certain joy, if not obsession, at desecrating the body. Perhaps he's mirroring an action that he learned or witnessed firsthand.
Are you suggesting that he himself could be a victim of such horrible acts?
A man reliving the violence inflicted upon him as a child.
I think we can safely say that whoever wrote it as a man, while still a child, was embarrassed, harassed, beaten, very likely assaulted. I might offer that the hand most responsible might be that of a man. But the intimate nature of other aspects seems to me to be the rather sinister presence of a woman.
If your theory were sound, Miss Howard, wouldn't it hold that the victims, like the Rippers, be women?
The letter is addressed to Mrs. Santorelli. Its tone both defensive and whining. It's filled with scatological and anatomical detail. Isn't that the voice of a boy who's been made to feel that he himself is filth?
How many households have you known that are ruled by a dominant and violent
But
mother?
certainly you would agree there's more than one kind of violence.
Look at your friend here to see who has had more influence on his childhood.
Laszlo, my mother was absent a good deal of my childhood.
Doctor, we're not talking about the gilded upbringing of a handsome but indolent member of the leisure class.
There is nothing in the literature to suggest the involvement of a woman. Not in Breuer, not in Freud.
Why
not
do you
in...
resist so strongly the notion of a woman's active involvement?
Because had a woman been dominant in his life at any point, we wouldn't even be here. These crimes would never have happened.
Sara! Sara, wait!
He's made it quite clear that the only opinion he values is one that reflects his own.
Well, I admit he can be rather pig-headed and impatient at times, but you shouldn't take it personally. He's that way with everyone.
He is a bully, and I will not be bullied.
Shine, mister, shine.
I doubt any man living could bully you.
Don't patronize me.
Shine, sir.
All right.
Do you really expect me to stand here and wait while you get your boots shined?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Why?
Because you find me handsome.
I said you were handsome and indolent.
Damned with faint praise. Besides, I rather see it not so much as having my boots shine as offering a poor boy honest work.
And what do you know of honest work?
I know I don't care for it.
A slothful nature and a fondness for alcohol can be overcome with hard work and a willingness to change your life.
I'm afraid you sound just like my old grandmother.
Well, maybe you should listen to her.
Oh, very well then. Sara Howard, will you marry me? I, John Schuyler Moore, take thee, Sara Howard, to be my wedded wife from this day forward. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. And to give you lots of little children who will be as lazy as me and just as stubborn as yourself.
If I thought you had a sincere bone in your body, I might consider your offer.
Don't go. I thought we might at least have dinner together.
The commissioner expects me in the office when he arrives, and I have too much work to do.
Sarah, if I were to ask you, and meant it, what would you say?
We're going to see Jesse Pomeroy.
Jesse Pomeroy, the Boston boy fiend.
Don't be anxious.
I'm not anxious. I've quit drinking is all.